Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and all our social media platforms at Fino Boxing. You can follow my personal social media at Adriana_sports. Enjoy.
Happened to him in that fight. It's unacceptable.
So who would you like to see Teofimo second next? Obviously, he's moving up the ranks to 135. He said he's ready for like against Lomachenko.
Listen, give him who he wants.
Yeah, that's who he wants too.
If he wants Loma at the end of the year, give him Loma at the end of the year.
You give him a chance against Loma at 135?
Of course, yeah. Nobody gave Floyd a chance when he fought Gennaro Hernandez. He'd only been pro 2 years, 18 fights. So I don't know if Lopez is Floyd Mayweather-esque. But if he wants it and his dad wants it, give it to him.
You know, these guys got to fight the fights. But, you know, if I had to pick a guy, you know, if you put a gun to my head, I would say Lomachenko would come out on top. I mean, Canelo fought Mayweather when he was 21. And look at where it took, you know, Canelo. Canelo now is at, you know, the top, you know, one of the top guys in the sport. So, you know, even if Lopez was to face Loma and lose the fight, I don't think it'll hurt his career. I mean, he lost to the best guy in the world, you know, the belt, well, you know, people consider him the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I still think Terence Crawford is, but if he can unify all the titles, and I'm talking about Loma, if he can unify all the titles at 135 pounds, then, I mean, you can't argue that, man. You know, that's a huge accomplishment, especially with the number of fights he has.
Does have what it takes. I still think Lomachenko wins by decision, but he does have what it takes. He's confident. He's a world champion, so that gave him a little more confidence. He's got power. He's got great skills. I think he does have a great chance. I think Loma is a little bit better to win that decision, but you know, if we see all of Loma's fights, you know, he got dropped against Linares, and most of the fights he's had against, you know, so and so. Few Puerto Ricans that he's fought, he's you know, he does get hit. He does get tagged up. You know, he comes out with bruises in his face, so he does get hit. So Teofimo is much stronger than all those guys. I think Teofimo, if he lands the right punch, Teofimo could hurt him and finish him. Can he? I think he can, but I still pick Loma, but because I like Teofimo, him and his dad. I love them actually. You know, they're really cool. They come over to my gym and spar and everything, and they're great people. But I think it might be a little too soon for the Loma fight. Even though I know after that Loma might move up in weight or come down to 130, and he'll get another title. He'll be champion again. No doubt that he'll be champion, and he'll be a great one. One loss is not going to do much for him. You know, he could still come back and be a superstar the way he is.
You know what? At first, I thought it was gonna be Loma. I went Loma all the way, but you know what? Now I can't say I got Teofimo, but I think it might be a 50-50 fight. I think, you know, a lot of people think Loma gonna walk through Teofimo, but listen, Teofimo is fucking explosive, and you know, he fast. He got good footwork. You know, you can't say it's better than Loma's, but you know, it's up there. You know, he can fucking fight. So, and Loma been dropped by Linares, and fucking Teofimo is way fucking more explosive than Linares. You know, so. I don't know. I got Teofimo, you know.
Yeah, so that fight is very interesting, especially after Teofimo's last fight against Richard Comey. I was so impressed with Teofimo that night. For him to do what he did to such a dangerous guy in the fashion that he did it is so impressive. And if I see Linares hitting Lomachenko with that right hand and putting him down, I see Teofimo putting him to sleep. It's a different thing. He's a bigger guy. He's younger. He's more explosive than Linares is coming up multiple weight classes to fight at 135. But Teofimo is a big, strong lightweight who's going to be, you know, ending up in other weight classes as well. So it's a super interesting fight. I think that the angles and the style of Lomachenko, he's a nightmare for anyone. His ability to stay away from power punches and to read guys and to pick up on any kind of mistake you make is uncanny. But Teofimo, man, he's got one punch power, so it makes it a real fight, and one that I'm excited to see.
I think so. Everybody wants to see the big fights. To me, the best fighter that you just mentioned right now out of the bunch is definitely Teofimo. This guy, man, I the day he turned pro. I mean, I think it was in New York City when I was present, and and I saw what he could do and what he's been able to do in such a short period of time. And now he's a world champion, and he's calling out Lomachenko.
Yeah.
You know, that's but you know, he wants to fight the best, and you know, may the best man win. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Lomachenko's as well as I am Teofimo, and that would be a great fight. I think at the end of the night, at the end of the day, we're all gonna, as fans, we're all gonna walk out winners out of that one.
Do you see that fight as a 50-50 fight? Obviously, a lot of people rank Lomachenko in very high in the top pound for pound, and Teofimo, well, he's a great champion as well. Had a spectacular victory over Comey. But coming into that fight, do you give the edge to someone, or is it 50-50 for you?
I think I would have to give the edge to Lomachenko because of everything that he's been able to do since I mean, obviously as an amateur, he makes it look so easy. He makes everything look so easy when it is so difficult. You know, I had the pleasure and I was lucky enough.
Oh, you got cut off.
2011, get to see him again and win another gold medal on at the World Championships in Baku.
Manny, can you hear me? Okay, you got.
I can hear you.
Okay, I kind of lost you there. I lost you. I'm gonna ask you to repeat that. I'm so sorry. You were saying about you give the edge to Lomachenko from everything he's accomplished.
That he's correct. That he's been able to accomplish his past. I mean, you would have to, you know, being a multi world champion as an amateur, and I was lucky enough to be there when he won the gold medal, to see him win a gold medal in 2009 in Italy at the World Championships, AIBA World Championships, and then again lucky enough to be there in 2011 to see him win another gold in Baku, Azerbaijan, and obviously he's Olympic gold medalist, and I mean and then now as a professional, you know, fighting nothing but the best, and he beat Gary Russell, and the only man to have been able to beat Gary. I was just thinking about that the other day. Wow. And then everyone else for that matter, and he's made it look. He beat Chacal Rigondeaux.
Yeah.
And he made it look so easy when it is so difficult, you know?
Definitely.
So, but I don't take anything away from Teofimo. Teofimo is definitely a special fighter, and he's got that one knockout power. So anything can happen. But honestly, I would probably have to go like 60-40 because, again, the legacy and everything that he's been able to build, Lomachenko, and Teofimo, he's only getting started. But I got to commend him for it because he's calling out the best fight. He doesn't have to fight him. You know, now, wait a couple of years. Wait for the guy to get a little older, you know, maybe. No, he wants it now. So, man, my respects to Teofimo.
Yeah. Who do you think has the edge? Who comes out victorious in that fight?
I would give the edge to Lomachenko. He's special, man. It's hard to go against him. You know what I'm saying? We saw that he could take a punch when he fought Linares. Linares put him on his butt. He got up and eventually stopped him in the 11th round or the 12th?
I don't recall the round, but it was like that.
Yeah, he can take a punch. So and Teofimo definitely packs a punch, and he's good too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like Vasily has seniority in the ring. Like he knows where he is at all times. He's slick. His defense is like on 100. His punch selection is on 110. And you know, him at 135, he's a beast at 135. So I would give the advantage to Lomachenko. Unless Teofimo hits him on the chin, he doesn't get up. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that.
Right.
I give an edge to Teofimo, and it's definitely probably a very unpopular opinion, but I feel like also, speaking of like just common, you know, things that are said by the fans and things like that, people refer so much to so much things to being hype, you know, but then they take things at face value so much, as far as like Lomachenko is Lomachenko, and this is how it's always been. So like when Ali fought Sonny Liston, you know, Ali didn't become Ali till after he beat Sonny Liston, you know. Sonny Liston, nobody picked Cassius Clay to beat Sonny Liston until he did, you know. So Lomachenko and Teofimo fighting Lomachenko, he's got that similar type opportunity here. Teofimo is the real deal, and after this fight, I believe he's going to win this fight, and then he'll be that guy, that everybody believes in. I think that people aren't giving him any shot just because Lomachenko is Lomachenko. He's done so much. He's so good. He won the 2 gold medals, and they're just looking at that, and they're not looking at who he's going up against, which is a younger, hungrier fighter that he's coming in to fight. And it's definitely the best fighter that he's fought in a number of fights. And if you look at the fights that Lomachenko has fought lately, he hasn't had his best performances in the last 2-3 fights. And you definitely can't say that he's fought anybody as good as Teofimo in his last 2-3 fights either. So I definitely think that this could be Teofimo's coming out party. And not that Lomachenko isn't great and an absolute legend. It's just that he's getting older, and this is, a perfect time for Teofimo to come in and take everything that Lomachenko has. And it's a great opportunity for him because, like I said, your greatest opportunities come when nobody's giving you a shot. And Teofimo has a real shot to win this fight, but nobody's really giving it to him. And that's going to make it even bigger of a win when he goes out there and if he can get the job done.
Well, a lot of people consider this a 50-50. Some give the edge to, one of the other guys, but Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, that's a fight that we've been, waiting for a while to see. Are you eager to see this fight? Do you see it 50-50, or how do you see it?
I do see it 50-50. I see Lomachenko, who's slick. He's a southpaw. He finds a way to win, but also 50-50 on the other side, who's a younger but stronger fighter, I feel like, in Teofimo, who's also finds a way to win. That's a toss-up. It's a coin toss for me. That's a hard one, and I can't wait to tune in to watch that.
The other fight that you mentioned was between Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. Do you see that fight as a 50-50?
I would give the edge to Lomachenko because, he has the experience. He does have the skills. But I think Teofimo is stronger than him. He's very explosive. So, he can, at a moment's notice, he can just explode with the punch and catch Lomachenko off guard. So I wouldn't give it a 50-50. I would give it to Lomachenko, but I'm not counting Teofimo out at all. I think he can beat him. I honestly think he can.
All right. And of course, Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe here at Fino Boxing, like this video, and leave your comments down below. And follow us at all our social media platforms at Fino Boxing, and my personal one is at Adriana_sports.